In the beautiful rolling hills of Campania, Italy, sits a really impressive building. This region, known for its picturesque landscapes and rich history, is home to one of the most magnificent structures ever built. It's the Palace of Caserta, and it's so special that it's on the UNESCO World Heritage List. This designation highlights its cultural significance and architectural grandeur. People come from all over the world to see how big and fancy it is. The palace attracts thousands of visitors each year, eager to witness its splendor firsthand. Back in the 1700s, King Charles VII of Naples wanted a palace that was even better than all the others, especially Versailles. He envisioned a residence that would surpass the French king's famous palace in both size and opulence. He wanted to show everyone how powerful and important he was. The palace was a statement of his ambition and his desire to leave a lasting legacy. This amazing palace, with its huge gardens and beautiful rooms, reminds us of a time when kings had all the power and wanted everyone to remember them forever. The gardens alone span over 120 hectares, featuring fountains, sculptures, and meticulously manicured lawns. The Palace of Caserta is enormous. Its sheer size is overwhelming, making it one of the largest royal residences in the world. It covers more than 47,000 square meters, and it has more than 1,200 rooms. Each room is a testament to the craftsmanship and artistry of the time. The front of the palace is super long, and it has tons of windows that sparkle in the Italian sunshine. These windows not only provide natural light but also add to the palace's majestic appearance. Inside, it's just as amazing, with paintings on the walls and ceilings, statues and fancy decorations. The interiors are adorned with intricate frescoes and gilded details that reflect the wealth and taste of the Bourbon dynasty. There's a giant staircase that takes you up to the royal apartments. This grand staircase is one of the most iconic features of the palace, designed to impress and awe visitors. Every room is more and more beautiful, showing how rich and powerful the Bourbon family was. The lavish decor and opulent furnishings speak volumes about their status and influence, but the Palace of Caserta isn't just a building, it's a story about a king who wanted to be the best and the history of his country. It's a symbol of ambition, power, and the cultural heritage of Italy. It's a story of good times and bad times, of being rich and famous and then losing it all, and finally of fixing it up and making it beautiful again. The palace has seen periods of neglect and restoration, each phase adding to its rich tapestry of history. Come with us as we explore the exciting story of the Palace of Caserta, from when it was built to when it was abandoned, and finally to how it became amazing again. This journey through time will reveal the resilience and enduring beauty of this architectural masterpiece. King Charles VII of Naples had big dreams. He was a visionary leader who wanted to leave a lasting legacy. He wanted a palace that was better than every other palace in Europe, a palace that would be the envy of all other monarchs. He wanted a place that would show off how rich and powerful his kingdom was, a place that would reflect the grandeur and opulence of his reign. Charles VII was a smart politician, and he loved art. He believed that art and culture were essential to a thriving kingdom. He knew that a beautiful palace wasn't just a place to live, it also showed everyone that his family was strong and important. It was a symbol of his dynasty's power and influence. In the middle of the 1700s, Naples was doing really well. The city was bustling with activity, trade was flourishing, and the economy was booming. They had lots of money and things were peaceful. The people of Naples enjoyed a period of prosperity and stability. Charles VII wanted to use this good time to build a palace that showed everyone how important Naples was. He envisioned a grand structure that would stand the test of time. He wanted a palace that was not only beautiful but also useful, with rooms for every purpose imaginable, a place where he could meet with important people, have parties and run the country. It would be the heart of his administration and social life. The king didn't just want a pretty building, he also wanted it to be in a good spot, a location that was both strategic and picturesque. He wanted to move away from the busy city of Naples, which was easy to attack from the ocean. The bustling port city, while prosperous, posed a security risk. He wanted a place that was safe and beautiful, where he could rule without any worries, a serene environment that offered peace of mind. He found the perfect spot in Caserta, a small town about 30 kilometers north of Naples. It was an ideal location for his grand vision. It was a big open area with hills all around and nice weather. The landscape was picturesque, offering a perfect backdrop for his palace. It was the perfect place to build his dream palace. A palace that would not only be a marvel of architecture, but also a symbol of his enduring legacy. To build his awesome palace, King Charles VII needed a really good architect. He wanted someone who could bring his grand vision to life, someone with the skill and creativity to design a palace that would stand the test of time and be remembered for centuries. He found the perfect person, Luigi Vanvitelli. Vanvitelli was not just any architect, he was a master of his craft, known for his innovative designs and his ability to blend functionality with beauty. Vanvitelli was already famous in Rome for designing great buildings. His works were admired for their elegance and structural integrity, making him a sought-after architect in the city. His dad was a famous painter, so Vanvitelli knew a lot about art, and he was also really good at building and designing. Growing up in an artistic environment, he developed a keen eye for detail and a deep appreciation for aesthetics. He was known for his big, impressive designs, his attention to tiny details, and his ability to make buildings that were both beautiful and useful. His architectural style was a perfect blend of grandeur and practicality. When Vanvitelli heard that the king wanted him to build the palace, he knew it was a huge job. He understood the magnitude of the project and the expectations that came with it. The king wanted a palace that was bigger, fancier, and more modern than any other. It had to be a symbol of his reign and a testament to his power and vision. Vanvitelli loved the challenge, and he put all his effort into the project. He dedicated countless hours to perfecting the design, ensuring every aspect of the palace met the king's high standards. He traveled all over Europe, looking at other famous palaces to get ideas, but he still wanted to make something totally new. He studied different architectural styles and incorporated the best elements into his design. Vanvitelli's design for the Palace of Caserta was completely new and different. It was a groundbreaking work that showcased his innovative approach to architecture. He planned a giant rectangular building with 4 courtyards and a front that was super long. This layout was not only impressive but also functional, allowing for efficient movement within the palace. The palace was designed like a grid with long, straight walkways coming out from the middle. This grid system made navigation easy and provided a sense of order and symmetry. This smart design, based on old Renaissance ideas, made sure that every room got lots of light and fresh air. The incorporation of natural elements created a pleasant and healthy living environment. Vanvitelli also added some fancy Baroque details like the giant staircase and the beautiful rooms to make the palace really impressive. These ornate features added a touch of luxury and elegance, making the palace a true masterpiece. The Palace of Caserta isn't just a beautiful building, it also has amazing gardens. The huge gardens, which were inspired by the gardens at Versailles, go on forever, filled with green grass, trees and water. There are fountains, statues and perfectly cut lawns that make it feel peaceful and grand. You could get lost in how beautiful it is. The gardens were made to be both beautiful and useful, a peaceful place for the royal family and their guests. The water features, like the big waterfall and all the fountains, get their water from a special aqueduct that Vanvitelli built just for the palace. This amazing piece of engineering made sure there was always water for the fountains, making the gardens even more beautiful. The mix of natural beauty and human creativity is what makes the Palace of Caserta so special. A true masterpiece that shows how creative King Charles VII and Luigi Vanvitelli were. As we explore the palace and gardens, we remember how creative people can be and how the things they make can last for hundreds of years. The Palace of Caserta shows us big dreams, new ideas, and the timeless beauty of art and architecture. Come with us as we keep exploring this amazing palace and learn the stories and secrets that make it one of the greatest buildings ever made. When the palace was at its best, it was a place full of culture and fancy things. They had huge parties, dances and meetings where people talked about important ideas. It was a time of incredible art and architecture. The palace was a symbol of how rich and elegant everything was, a true masterpiece of its time. But as time went on, the palace wasn't so fancy anymore. Problems with the government and money caused trouble. The rooms that used to be full of people became quiet, and nobody cleaned the beautiful rooms anymore. It became a sad reminder of what it used to be, forgotten by most people and lost to history. World War II made things even worse. Bombs and robbers damaged the palace a lot. Its treasures were stolen and the building was almost ruined. The war really hurt the palace, and it reminds us of how terrible the war was. After the war, people started fixing the palace. They worked really hard to make it beautiful again. Artists, historians, and architects all worked together to bring the palace back to life. Today, it shows us how people can overcome hard times and how important it is to save our history and culture.